World War II 1939 to 1945. World War II was the largest war in human history, initiated by Germany, Italy, and Japan. A total of 61 countries participated, involving more than 80% of the world's population, 1.7 billion people. Military actions took place across 40 countries, as well as in naval and oceanic theaters. Causes of the war. World War II was a consequence of the intensification of contradictions between the world's major powers, leading to the militarization of all spheres of public life. Political and economic tensions between the two groups of countries, victors and vanquished of World War I, as well as between the USSR and capitalist states, reached their peak. However, the main cause was the course taken by Germany, Italy, and Japan toward the violent redivision of the world. Preparation and outbreak of the war. By the 1930s, two centers of war had formed, one in the Far East and one in Europe. Nazi Germany aimed to reshape the world order and acquire living space. Fascist Italy and militarist Japan pursued similar goals. With Adolf Hitler's rise to power in 1933, Germany, determined to achieve world dominance, became the leading reactionary force of international militarism. The Nazi program for global conquest involved reclaiming former colonies, defeating Britain and France, and posing a threat to the United States. The ruling circles of Western countries sought to shield themselves from Hitler's aggression by directing it eastward, pushing Germany toward a confrontation with the USSR. They facilitated Germany's military-industrial revival, pursued policies of non-intervention and neutrality, and encouraged Hitler's ambitions. By the fall of 1933, the German leadership realized that it could not achieve its foreign policy goals within the existing European international system and decided to undermine it, withdrawing from the League of Nations. Germany abandoned multilateral diplomacy in favor of bilateral negotiations, allowing it to achieve its objectives more effectively. Its priority remained relations with France and the issue of rearmament. Germany also needed to escape its diplomatic isolation, which had resulted from the failure of the Four-Power Pact negotiations and its exit from the League of Nations. This required a bilateral agreement with a neighboring state. That state turned out to be Poland. The signing of the 1934 Declaration on Non-Aggression between Germany and Poland helped Germany break out of political isolation and marked one of Hitler's first foreign policy successes. Normalizing relations with Poland allowed Hitler to act freely in the West, e.g., in the Saar and Ruhr regions, and continue military rearmament without fear for Germany's eastern borders. Furthermore, Hitler attempted to draw Poland into an alliance against the USSR. Having built a solid military economic base, Germany, Japan, and Italy began executing their aggressive plans. In 1935, Italian forces invaded Ethiopia. In March 1936, Germany deployed troops in the demilitarized Rhineland, and in 1938, it annexed Austria Sea Anschluss of Austria, 1938, and prepared to occupy Czechoslovakia. In the early 1930s, Japan occupied northeastern China, establishing a foothold for further aggression against the USSR, Mongolia, and the rest of China. On November 25, 1936, Germany and Japan signed the Anti-Comintern Pact, with Italy joining a year later. The policy of encouraging aggression and directing it against the USSR was especially evident in the Munich Agreement of 1938, where the ruling elites of Britain and France betrayed their ally, Czechoslovakia. By agreeing to Germany's seizure of the Sudetenland, they signaled to Hitler that the path to the east was open. See Anglo-German Declaration of 1938. The Soviet Union repeatedly offered military assistance to Czechoslovakia, but these proposals were rejected. In the fall of 1938, Germany occupied part of Czechoslovakia. After signing an agreement with France in December 1938, Germany occupied all of Czechoslovakia in the spring of 1939, seized Memel from Lithuania, and imposed an exploitative economic treaty on Romania. In April 1939, Italy occupied Albania. That same year, Germany denounced the 1935 Anglo-German Naval Agreement, which had set a proportional balance between British and German fleets. It also broke the 1934 German-Polish Non-Aggression Pact and signed the Pact of Steel with Italy. At the same time, Soviet-British-French negotiations in 1939 failed, as the Western powers refused Soviet proposals for a European system of collective security against fascist aggressors. Moreover, the British government secretly negotiated with Germany over a possible division of the world. Facing political isolation, the USSR was forced to accept Germany's proposal to sign a non-aggression pact, see Soviet-German agreements of 1939. This prevented the formation of a united anti-Soviet front among the Western powers.